Okay, here's my new water chiller, heater, heater cooler. Heat up the water in here or cool it down to whatever temperature is desired. Um, this is my pump. This is a pump that works for, it's a 12 volt pump. They use them in those are like electric car batteries and things for pumping water, for coolant things. It's a good pump. This is a flow rate monitor. I don't really care what the rate is, I just want to know that there is flow. And then this is a heat exchanger, and it has a Peltier device inside of it that either heats or cools the water. I need to know if there's flow, because if it's cooling the water and the water stops and it keeps cooling, this could freeze and bust all my pipes in here. So flow rate stops, I got to shut everything down. So just for safety. Um, anyway, this is my PLC, and this is my HMI, and so I've got a little sample program set up running, and right now I can set my temperature. I set it on 40, but we could actually change it to back to 30. And so now it's cooling a little bit. I'm pulse modulating every it's 20 microseconds per division per big line of this. So I think 100 microseconds per wave. And so there it kicked off. So if it's 0.05 or closer to the temperature, it shuts completely off. I can turn my pump on or off here and detect my flow rate here. This little cooling sign just tells me that it's in cooling mode. Once it drops down a little bit, it'll change to heating, just to let me know. I have two power supplies at the moment. I'm going to try to cut that down to one. I've got 20 volt, 12 volt. So I'm going to try to leave it as this one. Still working on that. I haven't quite got that figured out. And I got a little solid state relay, and then this is a motor driver. Okay, so we've dropped down a little bit just because 30's pretty warm. So it's back to heating, and you can see now the waveform. Cut this down here. So now the wave is down here. So for heating it comes down, and for cooling it goes up. So we're in heating mode. We're just heating a little tiny bit just to get this back up closer to 30. So it's raising slowly. It's kicked off. So I'm trying to keep it plus or minus 0.01. I'm at plus or minus 0.1 is what I need. I've been holding plus or minus 0.05, so that's actually really good. And you program it with this crazy flowchart language. But my next thing is I got to house it, and I'm looking at doing something like this, where I have that heat exchanger mounted vertically on the front of the cabinet, maybe blowing the air out through the bottom, and also as it comes up to the top, blowing it out the sides. Something to that effect. I don't want anything to wrap around and come back in, or that defeats my cooling. So anyway, still trying to figure out how I'm going to package this thing to where it looks decent. I'll just have that curved part and have my screen on it where they can control it. And looks like we're back to cooling again. Just holding it at 30. I'm going to set the temperature though up to 40. And so now it's going to go full tilt into heating. When it's on full heating, sometimes I get this weird spike, which if I zoom out, This way out. Zooming out, you can see it's just one tiny little spike, and then sometimes I'll get a couple of them, but it's 2 milliseconds every division, so it's just some little glitch where it kind of shuts off and back on, but it won't affect anything. And my temperature probe is this for the moment. It won't stay this, but it's working pretty good. And it's saying it's around 30 degrees, and well, it's been heating up, so we're just a little above 30 now, so it's all doing exactly what I want it to. I just have to figure out how to get all of this you see here into a case.